Okay, I think we're good. Welcome to our community council members, and welcome to anybody who is viewing via our YouTube link. This is our first community council meeting of the year. Let's just do introductions really quickly. So I am Mr. Hanson, Dan Hanson. I'm the principal at King Elementary, and then whoever wants to jump in and introduce themselves, and maybe you can say a little bit about yourself for anybody that may not know you in the community.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So I'm Adam Carter. I've been on the community council for 2 years. This is my third, hoping to get reelected for another 2-year term. I've got 2 children at the elementary right now, one in 2nd grade, one in kindergarten.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, Adam, because we didn't go past our seats, you're in.
Okay,
we don't got to have an election when we don't have more people interested in the seats that we have available. Rick, okay. You want to go to you? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I was going to go next. Yeah, I'm Rick Bowman, and it's my first time ever doing this, so please be patient with me. But yeah, I have 3 kids at the school right now, 5th grader, 3rd grader, kindergartner. And then next year I'll have all 4 of my kids at the school, so it'll be very fun. So
yeah, well, we are glad to welcome you to the King family, and we're excited that you're participating on community council this year.
Thank you.
And then Patrick, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Patrick. I have 3 kids, a 6th grader, a 2nd grader, and a preschooler. We're going to count that preschooler, right?
You know it.
Definitely. So I've been on for 3 years. I guess I don't have to worry.
Right, and the great thing about Patrick is that he is a teacher, and so we value his opinion and perspective, and so that's nice when we can have additional educators that work at other schools serve on their local community council. So that's great. So thank you. We appreciate your service. Okay. Okay. So I put together an agenda for today. That's just it's just kind of a first community council meeting agenda that's kind of the same until we determine a community council chair, and then once we determine a chair, then it's the chair's responsibility to formulate the agenda. All community council members can provide input to the agenda, and parents who are not community council members can email our community council members to have items put on the agenda if they would like things discussed. So just a reminder about that. So if it's okay with everybody, if we want to move forward with determining our chair and our vice chair and secretary position. And so for those of you who don't know, the principal cannot serve as the chair. So that means it has to be one of our lovely community council members here. That needs to be one of them. I'll just put in a recommendation to say usually we have a chair that somebody has prior experience, although it's not a requirement. It's just something that's sometimes nice to have, that somebody has had some experience. And so we just need somebody to nominate someone to be the chair. And then if we have somebody second that, and then so we'll just be accepting nominations. So you can nominate yourself if you would like to be the chair, or if you think somebody would be a good chair, then you can nominate them.
I think Adam should. Why not?
I second that.
Okay.
I thought that might be coming, Patrick.
Okay, so, and I am doing a horrible. The problem is, I honestly feel like we should nominate the secretary first, but because I do a horrible job of keeping notes, but I'm going to try to keep notes right now. So I'm just going to put down that Patrick nominated Adam and that Rick seconded that. And then I'm just going to ask, is there anybody, are there any other nominations that we want to put forward? Because obviously if we don't have any other nominations, then if it's okay with Adam, obviously Adam, we can't force you, but we can sure beg. We can ask. So are there any other nominations for community council chair, or are we just going to have the one? Okay, sounds like just the one.
Just the one.
All right. Well, all in favor of voting Adam in as the community council chair, how about you can raise your hand, or you can raise your virtual hand, or whatever. Patrick's raising his hand. I'm raising.
I don't know how to raise my virtual hand. So.
Okay. Looks like we had 4 votes. Just gonna check something super quick. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got 4 votes. So we're gonna have Adam be the chair. Now we need to determine the vice chair, which means that you'd be kind of running the show if Adam were to ever not be able to make it, or anything like that. And so do we have any nominations for the vice chair?
I mean, if we want someone, once again, with experience, basically Patrick.
Okay.
So I'll nominate Patrick.
Rick?
Okay.
I'll second that too.
Okay, so we'll say Adam
I'll
gets
stand in your shadow, Adam.
Yeah. Adam gets payback
Alright.
and nominates Patrick. Okay, just joking. Okay, and then wait, we had Rick second that. Do we want to have any more nominations, or? Okay, all right. Everybody who wants to vote Patrick in as vice chair, raise your hand or put up your. It's cool with me. Okay, Patrick, we'll have you be the vice chair. We had 4 votes there. Okay, and then we need a secretary, but it's gonna be. This will be an informal secretary, so I'm just checking mine. Rick, I don't know how you are at taking notes.
I'm literally taking notes right now. So
okay, okay. Because I'm just gonna be honest. I'll be honest, everybody that's watching on YouTube. Mr. Hansen does not do a good job of talking and writing at the same time. I don't know that my brain can handle that. So I would vote against me taking notes.
Oh, you can vote against people, man.
Yeah, I would give myself like a -2 vote or something. So Rick, if you're okay to serve in that capacity, that would be super awesome and helpful to me. And then basically, so anytime we do voting or anything, you just need to keep track of who nominated somebody, who seconded it, how many votes we had, stuff like that. And then as far as like, what we talk about. Oh yeah, and the nice thing that I will remind you is that we have these videos, Rick. So if you ever think that you missed something from the meeting, you could just go back through the video and make sure that you have stuff. But you sound like you're a super fast typer, so.
I know my keyboard's loud, but yes, I could do this. I'd be willing to do this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I am going to, I'm sorry, I didn't even let's see. Oh, Windows, let's see. I am going to show.
Do we need to nominate him?
I feel like official.
Vote.
Yeah, technically, okay, so technically we're just going to have you take notes. I don't know, because the program is a little, the program, if I put you in as a secretary, it doesn't count you as a parent, but you still are a parent. So I think we're just going to have you be our unofficial note taker person, if that's okay.
Sure.
We will call you secretary to your face. I'm just joking. But we won't. Yeah, we won't have it be like an official title, I think. Okay.
So, one other question: how many open seats do we have?
Okay. So when I was gonna try to pull up our agenda. Now I'm trying to. Oh, I don't even have it open.
Well, I may be getting ahead of myself.
That's okay. I was going to try to pull up the agenda to try to keep myself focused. So let's see.
So the rules of order on the website say
Yep.
no more than 14 parent council seats, but I thought we had pared that down.
Yep, we did. And so we're going to review the changes that we made in May because we actually have to approve the minutes from May.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to pull up our minutes from May. We'll go through them. We'll vote to approve them. We'll get everything switched. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, community council, and I'm just going to go to our. So I reorganized things here. If you guys can see, we have our training materials. We have fiscal year 22, and then I have our agenda. And this is our agenda for today. So it looks like, okay, we elected people. The next thing is to go over the rules of conduct, but I kind of want to go over the meeting first because it deals with the rules of conduct. And then we have some training stuff that we want to go over. And then I wanted to review the school improvement plan that's for this year. And then one thing that I forgot to put on the agenda, so somebody help remember or remind me to talk about it, is our school walkthrough that we have scheduled next week. So that's one more thing that I wanted to do. Let's see. We're going to go to the minutes and go over that really quick. Oh, and then I'm going to... go ahead. Does somebody have a question?
I have a question really quick.
Yes, go ahead.
Am I responsible for creating the agenda as well? Or
So,
is my role just to take notes of the meeting?
your main job is to take notes of the meeting. So because Adam's the chair, technically he's the one that should be creating the agenda. But if he wants to involve you in that process, since you're kind of, writing everything out and whatever, then he could do that if he wants to, or he could just take care of it. But then we'll get to the rules of order or the rules of conduct in a little bit. But we're supposed to have the agenda posted a week prior to the meeting so that people know what we're going to be talking about. I try to do my best, Rick, to put in our newsletter just a couple of bullets of what's on the agenda for community council for the month, if that makes sense. Yep. So I'll be like, hey, we're going to be discussing this and this and this or whatever. So that's kind of that's kind of what I will try to do to try to inform the community about things. So. Okay, so really quick before I get distracted again. So Adam, you said this is your third year. So that means that technically you're in the first year of a new 2-year term.
Yep.
Because one thing that I noticed on our website that we should fix is that we don't have listed what term of service you're serving. Rick, you're new, so you are in a first year. Patrick, did you say that how many years have you served?
I believe this is my third year.
Okay, so that means that you would be in the first year of a 2-year. And by the way, not to scare people or anything, obviously we would love for our community council members to serve 2-year terms, so that Rick, you're the new guy on the block, but we have people who have experience that help get you acclimated, and then maybe the following year, year 2, and we have other new people that serve on community council, and then you can be the veteran, when we have other newbies type of a thing. So we just want to be paying attention to how much experience our people have, and do we have a good blend of first year and second year people. It's great that with Adam and Patrick that they are two people that have already completed 2-year terms and they're doing additional. So they have plenty of experience. But I'm just going to make sure that we list on our website what year of service you are currently in, if that makes sense. Okay, I am going to go to our minutes. So if you look on Teams, we're going to go back to fiscal year 22. Oh, maybe not actually. Let me look. No, okay, I'm wrong. Sorry. We're going to go back to fiscal year 21. And then we're going to go to the minutes. Uh-oh.
That's
okay.
Approved.
Oh, this is approved. Let's see.
Can I ask a dumb question really for this?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
What is the fiscal year? Like, I know what a fiscal year is, just what are the months?
So fiscal year 22 means the 2021-2022 school year.
Yeah. So is it August to August to July?
We conduct elections in the fall. So typically our elections are conducted in September and then we go to May. This is not making me. I swear all the minutes were in here, so now I'm.
Would it be in the agenda?
Maybe it accidentally got moved. No. Okay.
I took the notes on that last meeting, so I might still have them somewhere.
Well, they should be in here. Yeah, I don't know why, because there was like all of our minutes from the prior year were all there.
Was it the post? Try going to your post instead of the files.
Okay.
Maybe they posted it there.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I know that it's. Let's see. Spring.
Oh no, I would have taken those on my work. Yeah, I don't have them anymore on my side.
Nah, I'm. In the discussion. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. Man, I don't know where they all. I thought that I had hard copies all in Teams, but I don't know where they were. Okay. Well, that's okay. It's a good thing. That's why we try to get everything in Teams so that it's all good. Okay. So this was our drafted minutes, and I think the main part as we kind of look over this here is that we voted on changes to Community Council Rules of Order and Procedure. And so I believe, Adam, did you say you were taking notes? Is this you?
Yeah, this is all me.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure you put in the prior, new proposed language. So you have the old language and then the new language, right? Yeah.
Old language and new language.
It looks great. Thank you so much for doing this. So we have these updated. So one of them is to update the wording of the phrase under the council member section where it says voting shall be by secret ballot vote by the school community council. And then voting shall be by secret ballot either in person or via an online secret ballot tool. And so I was just going to tell you, Adam, as the chair, so we didn't have to call for a vote necessarily because we didn't have more than one person that was nominated for each position. Yep. So we voted openly. But if you want people to vote privately, you can have them message you in Teams directly. And then that way people can just type their vote in the chat and send it directly to you. And then you can just reveal the outcome of the vote without anybody knowing how people voted, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay. So as far as throughout the course of the year, if we do need to call for a vote and we would like the vote to be secret, then you can just ask each person to send you their vote through a direct message in Teams. Okay. Yeah. Okay, the second part here says the council consists of both parents and school staff, which includes the principal and the assistant principal. The council should have no more than 14 parent council seats, a minimum of at least 5. This is the old language. half of whom should be elected in even years and half in odd years. There must always be 2 or more parent members than school employees. And in the event that there is a tie vote in an election, an additional election will be held between the 2 representatives who receive the lowest number of votes. And so the new language is that the council consists of both parents, school staff, and they will have no more than 7 voting parent council seats. And the reason I remember from our meeting is we wanted to reduce it from 14 to 7 because if we have 7 parents and 5 school staff members, then it's a council of 12. And we were worried that if we had too many people on the council, that it might bog us down on being able to get stuff done. And so I believe that that's why we made that recommendation, and it looks like that it was approved and seconded here, and then we all approved it. Right here it says after the school community council is seated, the school community council will annually elect at the council's first meeting a chair and a vice chair, which and the chair shall be elected from the parent members, and the vice chair shall be elected from the parent or school employee, excluding the principal. And let's see, I think we just added in the laws as far as we have to have an open window for 10 days, and that it'll be 10 days prior, excuse me, and that we have it open for 14 days, which we did. So I always use back to school night as like the announcement window, and then we do the actual election 10 days after the first day of school. And then we had the window open for 14 days. We tried to advertise, we tried to encourage people to nominate to serve on community council. And then we took those nominations, and then that's kind of helped us formulate our community council this year. So it looks like we changed that language. We said all meetings are open to public. The public's welcome to attend. If a parent member is absent from 3 meetings, the council will consider the seat vacant, and the remaining parent members will appoint a parent to fill the unexpired term of the person. So we've changed that language to right here on my screen where you say all meetings are open to the public's welcome to attend. Participants can submit statements to the community council chair at least 2 weeks prior to the date of the meeting occurrence to be read during community council meetings. All public statements will be limited to 3 minutes, and all public statements shall not exceed 15 minutes in total time per meeting. And if a parent member is absent from 3 meetings, the council will consider the seat vacant. So it looks like we kept the same number of absences required or whatever before we consider the seat vacant, and then we just added some rules of order and procedure regarding public statements and how early they need to be submitted to the council chair as a recap there.
So those absence from 3 meetings, is that they don't just show up, or do they get like an excused absence if they told you in advance?
That's a great question. I mean, if we go by what it says, it just says if they're absent from 3 meetings, and it doesn't even say, we didn't put in there like 3 consecutive meetings. We just said if a parent's absent from 3 meetings. So I think in my mind, because I try to be a reasonable person, if the person still wants to serve on community council and they said, hey, I had a prior, commitment or
let's
something.
say like a sickness, that would probably take them out 3 months, which would be acceptable, right?
Right. Yeah. So I think, if you're asking me my opinion as far as the interpretation of what we have here, if somebody's wanting to serve and they had reasons about why they couldn't come, then I would be happy to still have them serve.
Okay, just checking to see if that 3 cuts them out automatically, or if they have an reason, that should be okay.
If you guys are, if you guys are okay with that type of understanding, of it, then I'm okay with it. If you think that we need to be more specific about that part of the rules of order procedure, we can make changes to it, or we can just say, nah, we're good. We understand that.
Or we vote when we get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
I was just saying, like, if we're all in agreement for this year, I think it's fine, and then we can amend it to be more specific in the last meeting of the year when we review
Okay.
these.
Yep, that sounds fine.
I was just going to say, I think it only becomes an issue if there's enough people who would want to take that seat.
Yeah,
And
given that
until
there's
that,
three of
until
us
there's
and there's 6
yeah.
or 7 seats.
Like-
exactly.
Your guys' job is
Exactly.
to create that. We want everybody to want to be a community council member. Create the need for it. Okay. Review of Title I parent and family engagement policy, and so we did that at the request of our federal programs director, who said, review it. If you're going to make any changes to it, if you're going to make any changes to it, then go ahead and make recommendations. Otherwise, otherwise you can accept it as is, and it looks like we just accept it as is, and that is the end of our notes from May. So do I have anybody willing to motion to approve the minutes? That's what happened at the meeting is what approving it does.
I'll approve it.
Okay, so Patrick, motion to approve the minutes, and do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Okay, so we approved the minutes, and I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna go back to maybe is this, oops, so maybe that's why that's the problem.
Dan, are you able to pull that document from the discussion into the files?
Yeah. I will, so that people don't have to watch me do all that stuff. I will go ahead and make sure that I pull in those files. I don't know if somebody, it's weird because all of our minutes were in, oh, sorry, wrong year. All of our minutes were in here, so I'm really confused about why.
I'll bet you they just got thrown back into the discussion.
Okay.
Sarah probably deleted them on her way out.
Okay, I'll make sure that we get all those minutes, because the minutes do need to be posted on our website. So we'll make sure that all the minutes from last year get posted, and then we'll have an extra copy of them in Teams in this folder. Okay, so back to our agenda. Let's see, rules of conduct. Okay, yeah, so we can go to, I got a video. Let's go to the training materials maybe really quickly. What time is it? 6:30. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to review our school improvement plan and then talk about the walkthrough. So let's see, training. Okay, so I have this. We got training materials. So I'm going to briefly go over this. And hey, Rick, I forgot. You probably told me, but I forgot. Did you serve on a community council at your prior school?
Nope, it was my very first time. I'm new to this.
Okay, so this is okay. So I won't go like super fast, but just know that you can access all of this information here and take, more time to digest it and whatnot. So maybe the first thing I'll go to is this document, School Community Council Responsibilities. So this is a document that I've taken from the website, and we'll go to I posted the website in our Teams that I'll take you to in a second, but this is a document that basically kind of that goes over that information that I would love for you to review, and it has links to the law there. And so this is a big one, Safe Technology Digital Citizenship Plan, making sure that you guys provide feedback on how we are trying to make sure that our kids are safe while they're using technology, and that they are developing the digital etiquette that our kids need in this day and age, with getting on computers and chats and things like that. So that's some information there. Let me see if this is the PDF. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So this is This is a PDF overview from the website as well. And so it goes over elections, school website, all these areas, the digital citizenship that I was kind of talking to you about. And so it kind of gives general information about the elections that we just had and conducted. School website, this is information that needs to be on our school website. So there's that information about we, as the principal, you know, I solicit input from you guys on developing our plan for our school. And then, you know, we use the School Land Trust Program funds in data-driven and evidence-based ways to improve our school here at King Elementary. Maybe just some feedback here on making sure that our goals are measurable and that they're focused on student and family success. And then this is the digital citizenship part that I was talking to you about making sure that we have safety with our technology and our kids. That's a responsibility. And then this last part, where we have looks like some current requirements that we have for policies, electronic devices, school climate, suicide prevention, school facility emergency and safety. So, but basically we just all want to work together to make sure that we accomplish those things. There is some budget allocation responsibility with community council. And so as we look to budget things, we have appropriate expenditures. So there's some things that we can spend money on and there's some things that we can't spend money on. And so we try to make sure that we're following the law and that as we develop collaboratively the plan for the school and the community council approves the budget and how we spend the money, that we're spending the money that's required by the law in certain areas. So there's that information. I'm gonna go back to our post and I'm just gonna click. Let's see, actually, I'm not, I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna reshare and I'm going to go to here. Okay, are you guys still seeing my screen? Okay, so this is so you can see right here by the URL, here's our schools.utah.gov. And then on here, we have overview, lots of links with information. We have timelines, due dates, councils, parents, resources. I went to, so I'll just click on the training and I've already pulled up some videos that we're gonna watch really quickly. These two are the most recent and they're really short videos. And Adam, you probably, this one I think is 7 minutes and this one's like 4 minutes or something like that. But they'll just provide us and anybody that's watching just kind of a review. These ones are older, so I don't know, as hopefully everybody knows that community council, like law surrounding community council can change every year. So just because we know what's going on one year doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly the same the following year. And so we just have to make sure that if there are any changes that are made to the law, that we stay up on that, if that makes sense, so that we're current with what we're supposed to be doing. So this is 4 minutes, and I'm just gonna press play, and we'll go from there and see what. Can you guys hear that? Is that coming through?
I think it's coming through.
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, I need to, so I did not, I think I need to go out because I forgot that I needed to share my sound. So I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna share again, but I think I need to, let's see, include computer sound, okay. And then I'm gonna go back to my window and I'm gonna press play again, and hopefully you guys can hear everything. So let's try it again. Give me a thumbs up, Rick, if you can hear it.
Utah State Board of Education.
Okay.
Today, I'd like to talk with you a little bit about your membership on your school community council, including your roles and responsibilities. School community council members represent others in the school community and should be available to listen to concerns, opinions, and ideas from other members of the school community. School community council members are required to review school-wide assessment data and use that data to identify critical academic needs in the school. School community councils consult with the principal on the Teacher and Student Success Act plan and create a school land trust plan. A school land trust plan must have measurable student-focused goals that address the identified academic needs and implement a component of the TSSA plan. Additional responsibilities of school community councils include a school safety plan, a digital citizenship review, and consulting on the positive behaviors plan for the school. There'll be more information about these items at a later date. When preparing a school land trust plan, remember expenditures should be used for data-driven and evidence-based practices and services. Your local board or district may not require your council to spend funds on a specific use. And if you're including behavioral interventions as part of your plan, they must be included in a measurable academic goal. Your school community council is also required to reach out to the school community and keep them posted on what's happening in council meetings. One way that's required is on the school website. On your school website, please include a list of council members with their contact information, a schedule of when the meetings will be held, the amount of money that has been received in the past and how that money was spent, and how other parents can get involved in your school community council. School community councils are also required to provide notice of their upcoming meetings. A week before the upcoming meeting, notice must be put on the school website. That notice should include the time, place, and date of the meeting, a copy of the meeting agenda with action items listed, and draft minutes from the previous meeting. Please make sure that your minutes include enough information to let people who were not at the meeting understand what's happened. Ways councils can be successful is to continue to review the current year plan as it's implemented. Make sure it's being implemented correctly. If it's not, see what could be better. Review your school and trust program budget throughout the year and make sure that the money is being spent accurately according to the plan. These funds are identified for your current year students, so try not to carry the funds over. And remember, plans can be amended. The Utah State Board of Education School Children's Trust section is available as a resource if you have any questions or concerns about your service on your school community council or on your council's responsibilities. Please contact us through email, by phone, and know that there are additional resources available for your council on our website, schools.utah.gov/schoollandtrust. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so there was that video, and then so Rick, did you have any questions, or so? I mean, you can.
No, I think I'll have more as we go on, but this is
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So that's just kind of a brief overview that way. So that we don't run out of time, I am going to jump, if that's okay with everybody. I'm going to jump to our school improvement plan for this year and just pull that up. And that is also in our, it's in our team. Let's see. I think I pushed the wrong button. Oh, stop presenting. All right, can you, all right, is everybody seeing my face? Okay, so let's.
Yeah, it's just in the gallery mode.
Okay. Maybe I want to go to this one. Yes. And then I'm going to go to files and I'm going to go here. And then you can see right here, this is right where our plan is. So we are going to just review what our plan is, and then I want to talk about the walkthrough really quickly. So our first goal is in grades, K6, student growth towards learning reading skills was measured by utilizing Pathways of Progress growth bands. And so to refresh everybody, Pathways of Progress growth bands, they show how much growth kids are making, and they put it in a norm referenced band. And so there are 5 different bands. We have well below, below, average, above average, and well above. So there's 5 different kind of growth bands that kids can be placed in. Now, regardless of a child's proficiency level, we want them making average growth. It doesn't matter if they're behind, it doesn't matter if they're ahead, we want them making average growth. And we know that if kids grow well, that kids that are behind will catch up, and kids that are already advanced will continue to advance, and that proficiency will come and all those good things. So basically there's 3 categories that we want kids in, and there's 2 categories that we don't want kids in. And we measure students 3 times a year with Acadience. We have a beginning of year, a middle of year, and an end of the year. We cannot calculate a growth measurement on the beginning of year because we only have 1 measurement. So the only time that we can calculate a growth is when we have, after we have the middle of year and then the end of year measurement. And so this goal is a similar goal that we made last year, and we are measuring cohort data as they move through the grade levels. And so this is a common, there's 2 different ways that schools typically try to measure cohort data. One is when you just measure the grade level and you don't measure the group of kids moving to the grade level. I don't think that's as effective as the way that we're doing it is called I believe it's called a value-based or value-added assessment, where you're actually measuring the cohort itself, which I think is a better way to do it because every group of kids, is unique as they move through the school. And if we don't have a ton of turnover or a change in our student population, then it's a pretty accurate representation of how much growth the cohort's making. I believe, and maybe Adam or Patrick, if you remember, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we made a goal of like 4% or something the prior year, and we were able to accomplish that. I know that we took into consideration how much growth we are able to achieve over the entire course of the year, and that's kind of what helped us in guiding this. But essentially our action plan is that we're going to, teachers will set Pathways of Progress goals for students, and I will follow up with Mrs. Bertram on making sure that has happened for our teachers, because the beginning of year Acadience window has already occurred, and so teachers do have their preliminary data. And then teachers will be discussing the data at their PLCs. We did purchase M-Class software for our upper grades, so all grade levels are doing it at our entire school, and that's important because we're measuring all cohorts. Teachers are going to be, monitoring progress throughout the year, and our ELA coordinator is going to be working with them. And then we have instructional assistants, and I think we highlighted things in red, just so you guys know, if we are putting money, if we put money towards those action items in the school improvement plan. So we paid for M-Class software, I think, we paid for instructional assistants, and then we had built in some letters training before the state took over as far as the training. And then we have here how much money we had allocated for each of those things. So that's kind of an overview of that goal. And just so everybody knows, we will have these goals. These goals will be in the front of our building. So anytime somebody comes into our building, they can see what goals we're working towards. Those 4 goals should be on a school improvement plan poster in our front entryway. And then we have this document here that will help guide us, make sure we're staying on track. The second goal we have is that grade levels would choose a desk math priority standard as a focus area for the school year. And then we have a certain percentage of students that are going to demonstrate proficiency. We had done this the prior year, and I don't remember if you remember, Adam or Patrick, but we reported on our progress. I think it's safe to say that we saw more growth in the middle of year to the end of the year than we saw in the beginning of year to the middle of year. I think that teachers have reflected on their scope and sequence for the year. I think and that was the first year that we had made a goal like that, but I will say that I'm a big believer in gathering formative data throughout the year to guide what you're doing. Summative data, if you have to wait the entire year to look at summative data, and then by that point, it's not there to be able to guide you. It's just an autopsy of the year and what happened. And I think that that's less effective for our teachers, as hopefully they can be making adjustments to their instruction during the year instead of trying to reflect on an entire year's worth of data at the end of the year when the kids are already gone, and then try to create a new plan the following year. So I really like that feedback that they get from the formative assessments during the year. We live in a world where we get tons of feedback all the time, and I feel like the feedback helps make us better. So I'm excited about that goal. And then you can see here the money that we allocated towards that goal. And then as some of you know, before the pandemic, our school was identified as a TSI school, which means a targeted support and improvement. And we were identified with our students with disabilities group that we were not performing as well with our kids that have disabilities. And so we have a specific goal here to improve the measurement. So our school got designated as a TSI due to the state's accountability system that is just the end of level testing. So unfortunately, they're measuring our school off of one test, and it's one test at the end of the year, and it's how our kids with disabilities performed on the test. Based on that testing data, it's saying that we can do better with our kids with disabilities. And so we have an action plan in place with our special education teachers to try to improve that.
What are they testing on that one?
They're testing language arts, and unfortunately for us, they're not measuring growth, they're just measuring proficiency. And so for some of our kids with disabilities, they have to improve their proficiency scaled score by an entire band. For some kids, I think that might be reasonable, but for some kids that might also be a tall order. Yep. And so, but we don't shy away from a challenge at King Elementary, and so we are going to still do our best to see where we can improve. School administration's committed to working closely with our special education teachers to try to see if we can get some more kids to improve their proficiency scaled score.
Out of curiosity, like how many students are we talking about in that goal?
You know what, I want to say
5, is it 20?
Well, okay, so our shooting from the hip. I want to say there are a caseload of kids with disabilities is probably close to 40, something like that. So we have 40 kids in the whole school that we're trying to work with, to improve. They don't all, some of them do get serviced for academic support, but some of them might be behavior support. We have a variety of disabilities of kids. And so those are the kids that we're kind of looking at. But so we have that as one of our goals. And then the last goal, and I'll talk really quickly, is our kindergarten students. So we cannot measure a cohort measurement of our kindergarten kids because we only have 1 year's worth of data. And so we make a separate goal for our kindergarten students that at least 60% of our students will achieve in those top 3 categories, either typical, above, or well above. So there's 3 different categories that we want them to achieve as far as the growth. One thing that I'm excited about this year is that we are trying to do a virtual extended day kind of kindergarten, although we are struggling a little bit to find people to work at our school. So this is a plug to my community council members and to anybody who's watching. If you know somebody that needs a job that would like to work with our kindergarten students, or we do still have a couple positions that are open at our school. And so if you know somebody that you think would do a great job of working with our kids, then we would love to get their contact info. You can see here, this is our total projected budget was $53,295.94. And so we have all that. This was a little bit, was some feedback from our teachers as we constructed the budget. This was the school administration's recommendation. And then this was our final budget, which you already saw up here. This was our final budget. So that's just a quick review. We're running out of time because it's almost 7. And so I would encourage any community council member, to review that if they need to, become familiar with our school improvement plan for this year. That's what we're working towards. As we have community council meetings, Rick, we're going to be looking at data that pertains to the goals, see how we're performing, obviously taking care of community council responsibilities and things like that. Before we close, we have our meeting scheduled for, I want to say, is it the 12th? Let's see. I should pull up I believe, but it's next week. I believe it is the 12th, Tuesday, where we have a walkthrough. So we did a walkthrough, but I'm just going to say really quick, if you guys would like to, I kind of arbitrarily chose that date a little bit. If we want to change the date, because we would love for our community council members to be able to come if they could, but we understand that people have jobs, and so if you can't, no pressure. But I did want to advertise to the community so that if any parents that are not community council members wanted to do a walkthrough of the entire school, I know that it was a positive experience for several parents last year, and it's something that I would like to do in the fall and in the spring, at least twice a year. And then as a FYI, we have the school board, the Davis School District School Board will be coming to our school on December 8th. And so you don't have to come to that, but that's just another walkthrough that's happening of our school. What are you guys' thoughts about the walkthrough for next week?
What time were you thinking?
Typically we meet in the morning, but we're pretty flexible. I think that if somebody was still going to go into work or something and they were going to take like a little bit of time off, I think that doing it in the morning, so then they could come for a little bit and then go into work a little bit late, or if we did it at the end of the day, one of those two things, either go to work late or leave work early. I think one of those, but I'm flexible either way. We just want to showcase what we're doing at our school.
I'm available to make it next Tuesday if we did it at like 9 or 9:30.
Yep. Okay. Rick, are you good?
Yep, Tuesday morning's perfect. So
Okay.
that'll work.
I am
Patrick,
not available.
Yeah. Patrick's gonna be teaching.
I'm going to be in the classroom.
keeping
so-
kids in line in the front lines.
You know
That's
how
all
fun
right.
it is to try to get a sub.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Especially nowadays. It's like, yeah, you got to know somebody who steals things or something to
Yeah.
get somebody to cover. Okay. Well, I think let's go ahead. I'm going to do a call out and I'm just going to advertise to our community. So if we have some parents and if you have some neighbors that are like, yeah, we would love to come do a walkthrough. We can.
Yeah, we've got a neighborhood Facebook page, so I'll post it there.
Yeah, if you want to post it and just say we would love to have you, we'll have some treats. We'll walk around and see the cool things that are happening in our building and then get some feedback from people. And we hope that it will be a fun time and that you guys can ask questions and see what we're doing here at King. So, okay, we will go ahead and we'll maintain that date and I'll just make sure that I do a call out and remind parents about it. So if we have any parents that want to attend, then we can do that. And
So real quick, did we say how many chairs are open for community council?
Yeah, so we'll just say really quick. So I believe the new rules of order procedure said 7, and currently we only have 3 parents that are serving. At least we had some parents not get back with us on if they were able to serve this year.
Is that the 3 parents here tonight?
That is correct.
Okay, because if we're trying to get parents there on Tuesday next week, maybe we can get them there with a little questions that they could ask you.
Yeah.
Also, get them a little interested in joining.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, anybody, if you guys have any people that you want me to give a phone call to or whatever, I'm happy to do that. Or you can, whatever we want to do to just try to generate a little bit more interest in serving on our community council. And so, yeah. Okay, well, unless anybody, and Adam, I'm totally sorry that you're the community council chair and I have been talking this whole time. But do you have anything that you want to say or?
I didn't have any grand speeches prepared or anything, but yeah, I'm excited to serve once again. I think the community council is a very useful and important part of, ensuring that the school is functioning well for, not only our kids, but all the kids of the people in our community as well. So yeah, I'm excited to serve and should be a good year. Yeah, we should all try and create some noise around this. So I'll post in our neighborhood Facebook page and maybe text a couple of my acquaintances here in the neighborhood as well, so we can drum up some additional excitement and people.
Challenge them to an arm wrestle. We know you'll win, and then when you win, then just say, then now you got to serve.
If we want the champion arm wrestler, that's Patrick.
All right. Okay, well, whatever we got to do, Patrick, you start arm wrestling people.
Another one. Are we going to continue meeting on Teams?
So we can discuss that. I
think we'll have better foot traffic if we're in the school.
Okay.
Instead of being on Teams. Mm-hmm. I just found that people rather be in the school that's participating than virtually.
Right. I think it just depends. I think some people, the ability to participate from their home is an advantage. So I think, it's.
But if we could do both, hey, let's try it.
Yep. We can
more options.
Yep. I'm happy to try to do whatever, as long as we communicate to the community. We could even do like an every other, where we meet online one month, the next month we meet in person and kind of go back and forth type of deal. But we can maybe, Adam, you can put that down as an agenda item or whatever.
Yeah, let's maybe make that
ponder about it
for
next
our
time.
one.
Yeah. Okay. But that's kind of my take on it. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons. people that prefer the face-to-face, they would be more apt to, but people that have kids or other obligations, participating via Teams might be appealing to them because they don't have to come into the school or whatever, and they can still participate. So, okay. Well, I know we're at 7:05 and I do try to respect everybody's time. I appreciate your service. I appreciate your participation. And if we don't have any other comments, I was just going to motion to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded.
Okay. Rick, if you want to write that down. Thank you. Okay. And it was a pleasure seeing you all. And then Adam, I think we have our next meeting in November. And so as we get closer to that, you can communicate with me about agenda items and then if we'll be meeting in person or not in person or whatever. So.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I hope you have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you.
Guys.
Yeah.
See ya.